that are right in front of you that we gathered off this site and other properties, and we layered it like we always do. We put in kelp, we put in humates, we put in wheat germ and wheat bran, and we also put in active dry yeast as a way to add the organisms in that are going to start the process. And now look at this. This has only been 1 day, y'all. 1 day, and the heat in here is something else. We have been calling these bokashis, and people have been saying that it's not bokashi. I don't know what it is. I know it's active, I know it's hot, I know it's a good way to transform green and organic material that's on your property into something useful that can be put into the greenhouse and into the beds. So that's what it is to us. It's gonna be leaves and stems and roots and old plant matter that gets transformed into living, dynamic, dark, rich soil. And it'll happen quickly because we add in a sugar source, sugar, molasses, anything like that, and we add in active dry yeast. And that active dry yeast gets it cracking, layers of dry leaves, layers of green material, stalks, sorghum stalks, sunflower stalks, okra stalks, and then we start doing it. We start adding it in and make sure there's water coming into it. And the water came in the other day because we left the pile open in the rain. Put some sugar in here, a little sugar water there, put a little active dry yeast, and then stir it around, get the vortex, get a reverse vortex, and once we have all of that, we put a bit more sugar in, and then voila, pour it in the belly, pour it in the belly, pour it in the belly. Get out any trash you see in your compost, and you just wet her down. Let that go in there, and then we're gonna turn this compost into that station. So today we're gonna turn this compost into that station. As we turn it, add in more green, add in more of the leaves, and we're just gonna layer it, put it in here. It'll be in a covered environment, and then we'll cover it again with more tarps and whatnot. In here we have kelp and sea salts, alfalfa, humates, and then in here we have the wheat bran, rice hulls as well. We keep them in these metal trash bins because the squirrels just eat through the plastic to get to the wheat bran. This is how you set up your system. And then all the organic matter that we produce or you produce on your site, you keep it on site, you transform it into soil, and you get it right back onto the site. Constantly trapping carbon. We live, as you can hear, this is an urban area where we're doing this work. We gotta trap the carbon. The carbon gets trapped, sequestered, and reused. That was a quick lesson. Grow where you are. More life. More life, more life, more life. Grow your own inputs. If you look here, we just rebuilt this compost bin, pallets. There's this door back here, another pallet, some upcycled wood, some chain link fence, another pallet. We rebuilt that, and we are turning from pile to pile. Look at here. You see this papaya coming up in the compost pile. It's okay, we'll leave it there until it gets too cold, and then we'll compost it. You can come and look at this pile. This pile shows how the matter begins. We begin with the green matter. We begin, ooh, look, blossoms. We begin with the green matter. We begin with fruit scraps, veggie scraps, flower stalks, and then we have a lot of dry material. We flip that, flip that, flip that. But again, back to the carbon sequestration. Up above us, the sky, right? There's so much going on in that sky, and we know it. And these plants draw this carbon down. And when we flip that material out, look what we got. Look what we got here, y'all. The life force energy, this whole pile is alive. This is deep carbon that's been captured. There's earthworms in there, microorganisms in there,
potato bugs, roly-polies, every type of thing is living in here. But this was all just that green and brown matter and time. That was all made of carbon-based life forms and time. So once we get it layered like that, then we'll put another layer of leaves on it. And this is our wintertime tuck-in, right? So we'll cover this whole thing with leaves and let it sit all winter long. We'll be able to open up this bin. This bin will start fresh. We'll rotate some of the stuff that's in that bin and keep the layers of the green, the brown, and the microorganisms and let them do their work and stay warm during the cool season. That's what it is, from bokashi to bin composting to some of the direct composting that we do right on the soil. That's why we give you this content, because you give us the support. Thank you. Grow where you are. Y'all see that pile? This is the pile halfway turned and halfway completed. This is the pile that you saw in the earlier video. Look at the carbon sequestration along with the heat. So this biomass is generating thermal energy and demonstrating what it looks like when a bunch of carbon is sequestered from green matter and leaves with soil and microbes. And look at all this carbon. This is all carbon that came right out of the sky. That's what our work does, is it sequesters carbon, generates thermodynamic energy, as well as high nutrition food. So we're gonna finish turning this pile and you'll see the finished results in about another maybe 2 weeks. If that, this pile is cooking at about 150 degrees right now. Look at that. Look at that. You can't imagine what it smells like. Grow where you are.